Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. On today's show, I'm joined by Karen Lee and Cam Potter, a super open, hilarious, and sex-positive mother-son duo who host the Sex Talk with My Mom podcast. We talk about the benefits of owning your cougarness, how to let someone know you're just not that into them even after one date, the evolution of straight men and their anal explorations, the good old casual sex debate, and there's even an impromptu call with my own mom to find out more about her sexcapades. All this and more. Thanks for listening. I'm fascinated with sex tech and innovation, and from the second I heard about UV, I didn't hesitate to jump on board and be part of their Kickstarter campaign, which was a huge success thanks to you. Now it's been over a year, and UV is the hottest thing to hit the sex toy market in years. Why? Well, for one, it's the only product on the market that can sanitize sex toys while charging and discreetly storing them. UV is designed for the intricate contours of luxury sex toys, but can handle anything from hairbrushes to jewelry to remote controls. And not only does it clean and charge my phone every night, the onboard USB ports keeps my toys ready to go. UV makes cleaning toys so easy, and it's available in two sizes, the Go Play and the larger home version. I've already furnished my home with a dozen of these. I mean, hey, you know how many sex toys I have. UV is an elegant box with a locking function. I just open the lid, place in my items to be cleaned, and close the box. Depending on which UV you have, cleaning takes between 5 and 10 minutes. The ultraviolet cleaning system has been proven to eliminate 99.9% of harmful bacteria found on sex toys and other items. If you're a lover of sex toys, you can order one for yourself. To learn more, just click on the UV banner on my website or visit uvclean.com/Emily. That's UVEECLEAN.com/Emily today.
Look into eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's gotta have her standards. Oh my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. So thanks everyone for listening to the show. And as you know, I love when you share your feedback. And I was really, really touched by a comment left on iTunes by I Headley. It said this: whether you are still a virgin or not, this podcast is for you. It helps you become more comfortable with all things regarding sex and pleasure so that your next sexual experience, whether it's your first or 50th, by yourself or with a partner, you'll go in with more confidence and have a ball. No pun intended. Thank you, Emily and crew. Keep up the important and amazing work. So this just made me feel so great when I read this. I was really touched when you guys post comments and let us know what you feel about the show. And I shared it with my team, and it truly just made my day, made my week. So more importantly, thank you to all my listeners for supporting the show and for being here with me through this journey. I love hearing from you everywhere. So you can follow me on social. You can get more Sex with Emily anytime you want it. So follow me on all the places you'll go on social. It's at Sex with Emily on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. And here's why. First of all, I'm always posting as soon as all the episodes are up. But also, if you've ever wondered what really happens at Sex with Emily, we've got some behind the scenes stuff. We've got snippets from my life. And I just want to be your source of positivity and light throughout the day. So I love hearing from you, and thanks for following me there. Oh, I have to tell you, our March contest, it's here. And it's all about oohs. We're actually doing an O's of March contest. You know those moments, the aha moments when you finally figured something out and just your whole world makes more sense? I'm sure you've had just a few of those in your sex and dating life. So what does that mean? Let me give you some examples about what it really means. So let's say you finally found the spot on your clitoris that makes you go insane. Like when I told you about the clitoral legs and you're like, oh, wow, there are legs. Or maybe you found those words to tell your partner exactly how you like to be touched. Or perhaps you discovered a brand new erogenous zone. Maybe you let your fingers do the walking and experience a prostate orgasm. Whatever it is, those or those ooh or those aha moments, I want to hear from them. So you can send me your aha moments that change your life sexually, your dating, your relationship lives, and send it to feedback@sexwithemily.com by April 10th. And we're going to pick 4 of you, and you're going to win a super sexy prize that'll definitely have you going, oh, all year long. I'm really excited for my guests today. I have Karen Lee and Cam Poder on the show. They are the host of Sex Talk with My Mom. It's a great podcast. It's so fun to listen to, and it's really fun to be a guest on it.
We love
very excited to have you guys here today. So welcome to the Sex with Emily podcast. Okay, so I want to know about, tell me how you guys started the podcast, because for some people they're thinking, well, the last thing I want to do is talk about sex with my mom actually in the room.
Yeah.
So tell me about how this all came about. Because it works.
Thank you.
It's so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love.
We were always very open about talking about sex growing up. She happens to know a lot about sex, and she's not afraid to talk to anyone about it.
And you've always been that way, right, Karen Lee? Like,
I actually have always been very comfortable talking about sex and always liked hanging with guys and talking about sex. So yeah.
So my friends would take advantage of the situation and come over and ask them about their sex lives.
And
at what age did that start?
Probably high school.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. There's nowhere else to go.
And
no one else talks about it. This is amazing.
Cam's mom. You gotta go.
Cam's mom.
Yeah, I got to come over and talk to your mom. And we'd be up to 1, 2 in the morning, just sharing stories, and especially when they came back from college. And it was so fun because they talk about when they got there. One guy talked about when he had his chest hair waxed and how painful it was. And we were just laughing, and we'd hear about threesomes and all kinds of crazy.
Twosomes. If they were lucky, right?
Yeah.
Or a threesome if they were lucky.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the questions were? And do you feel like they're different than they are the kind of questions you get now?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in high school, I didn't lose my virginity until college. So,
Right.
And most of my friends didn't either. So we weren't talking about really explicit sex questions with her, more like stories. But then what ended up happening was that when I was 17, my dad was murdered. And that really flipped our worlds upside down and brought us really close together.
And you have 2 other siblings. So
Right.
The 3, when it happened, I immediately grabbed him and I said, listen, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to us, but we are a strong family and we are always going to continue to be strong, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to make something happen. I had no idea we were going to make a podcast about sex.
That came later, right?
Right.
But I knew we were all going to be okay because that was just an easy focus. We're all going to be good.
Right. God, I mean, that's just, tragic.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this too. My dad died when I was 19, and I think we were talking about this when we went to garage. But there's nothing else. You're never prepared for this, and it is a tragedy. But what a leader you are! As a mom, we're going to get through it, and you're a great mom. And all your kids have now moved to California, and you're all together.
It's awesome.
Which is amazing. Yeah,
It's the best.
So taking that kind of tragedy, obviously, you look at the side of it, and you're like, how does it bring you closer together?
Yeah,
And what do
we
you
were
do with
living
it?
in Chicago at the time, actually.
Well, you eventually started dating again.
Yes, I did. And I was like, okay, he ain't coming back. I'm going out in the
Good for
dating
you.
world.
Well, yeah.
And did I realize at the time that most of the guys I was going to date were younger guys?
Eventually, you decided to start your own YouTube channel.
Well, I looked around on YouTube and I was like, oh, I need to know, what is a girl? I was in my 40s. What do I do in my 40s? And most of the stuff out there are 21-year-old girls telling you, oh, this is what you got to do. You got to play the rules and all the games. And I'm like, this is not helpful at all.
Right.
I've been married 24 years. I do not need to have some little whippersnapper tell me about her ideas of what sex
Exactly.
is going to be.
Don't text back. You're like, I want to find a nice guy to hang out with. What are you talking about? Right. So you took it into your own hands.
I took it in my hands. I'm like, I'm making my own YouTube channel. It's going to be called Love Encore. It's going to be women in their 40s. And rah, rah. We're going to all conquer the world. And this is what's going to happen. And I look at my demographics after 6 months or a year, all men.
Right.
18 to 34-year-old guys looking for
Looking
advice.
at you.
Looking at you. Like a MILF.
Yeah.
You're like, that's reverse, right? Oh.
It ended up being, I reinvented the word cougar. I said, this is a confident, older, unique, genuine, assertive, and racy woman. Cougar.
Say that again. A confident, older, unique,
genuine, assertive, and racy woman.
I love that definition of it. That is amazing. You took back
because
cougar.
Emily, you are a cougar.
I know. You need to, yes, and okay, true.
And it really doesn't have that much to do with
No.
dating younger as much as it's your spirit is younger.
Yes, no one thinks I'm...
Lord knows I tried to fix you up with my son.
That would be me.
I know.
I'm the son.
He's 28 now. And yeah, right. You did. I get it. So
anyway,
we have
the
younger
most
energy.
of my audience were these younger guys, and most of the guys that like I found when I was out there were younger guys, and just I just feel like younger guys have that joie de vivre. They still love women. They're not like jaded, like they've had to pay alimony and child support, and they hate women, and that's what I would get a lot. These guys would sit me down, and I don't want to spend 20 minutes talking about like how the T,
right.
their wife is.
Right. Oh, right.
That's a bad word.
Got it. It's okay.
See you next Tuesday wife that they had. I don't want to hear that. Okay. I don't want to hear it. But anyway, so I started this channel. It really took off as far as like, interviewing porn stars. And, I found that the sexual component was what people guys were really looking for. They really wanted to learn more about sex. And I'm open about it. And so it was a very different viewpoint. And then,
meanwhile, I was at college and
you're at Stanford studying public policy, right?
Yes, nailed it. And when my mom told me about her starting a YouTube channel, I was like, "Oh, this is a great idea!" Like, of course, all these women are going to get so much good advice. They're going to learn how to date again. And then I'm watching the videos come out, and the titles are like, "A cougar's tips on penis size." And I'm like,
"You're like,
what
Mom, that wasn't
happened?
the gem I was looking for there."
Right.
But in actuality,
then it was. So then I started. I did stand up, so I was talking a lot about it in my stand up. Like,
great.
Yeah, I was like selling. She wrote a book called A Cougar's Guide to Getting Your Ass Back Out There.
Right.
So I would try to I was reading passages of that in my stand-up sets. Like one chapter was called Release Your Inner Stripper. So I would go through the steps of releasing your inner stripper.
This. You took that right. Okay.
Yeah. And then, eventually we were like, we should collaborate. And we made a video and then it turned into this podcast.
Okay. That's a really good start. And it's working. You guys have been doing it for over 2 years now?
Yeah,
almost 3?
over 2 years.
Okay.
A weekly sex talk with my mom.
We have put so many diverse characters on the show, too. Like, a lot of them were his old lovers.
You brought in your old lovers, Kim? Like ex-girlfriends and stuff?
Yeah.
How was that?
Very uncomfortable.
Right. Were they like, I never liked your mom? Your mom was like, here's what you were saying, like, this is what was wrong with you. Like, do you do a little therapy on it?
We brought a Groupon on one of his first dates. I'm like, that is a no-no.
No Groupon.
Yeah.
Did you show the Groupon, or you could do it? You could kind of slide it to the waitress, but that's cool.
It was, I think we talked about it beforehand. She ended up coming out to me during the date as being a lesbian.
Oh, okay. So
then the date, it was a really topsy-turvy date anyways.
Yeah,
Right.
he was at first he was so excited about the date. Then he brings out the Groupon and he realizes that it was not the best idea. And then he finds out that she's not even interested in him anyway. And she's awesome.
do you find that you guys are on the show? Are you actually giving each other advice a lot? Like, I know you're giving advice to your listeners, but so how do you think after the few years of doing the show, it has impacted your dating life and then your sex life?
I think that's such a good question.
Or me or my
Well,
mom?
whoever wants to start.
Well, it's rare that I'm giving her sex advice. And I don't think you talk about your sex life as much as I do.
Yeah,
But I want her to. And my first drive before I went on your show, I was doing my prep, and I'm just teasing you because I listened to a few shows. But Karen Lee would start talking. I was like, what? And you'd be like, Mom. I'm like, no, sex talk with my mom. I want to hear about her threesome.
Yeah.
Let her talk. I'm like yelling at my podcast.
No, it's not. I don't think it's as much me backing you away from talking about those subjects. I think it's mainly that you feel like you don't want to share that. Am I right? Or?
It's interesting because I think there is a part that I'm comfortable sharing all my past experience. I could talk about everything that's ever happened to me, including like when I was like locked out of a hotel room in my underpants. But I don't know if I told you that.
I never heard that story.
But the current situation of like, I've been with the same guy for 10 years. And that would be like uncomfortable to talk about, like as we're, and guess what? I got laid last night, Cam. I just don't think it's appropriate, you know. And
there's a certain intimacy, you have a connection, intimacy,
and I respect his privacy as well. We don't even use his name. His name is Dee's on our show.
And I've also found
I met him.
Yeah, you did.
He was there. He's very cute.
And he, by the way, said hello to you.
Yeah, please tell him I say hello back. Yeah. Anyway, I'm in the family.
I've also found that when we bring people on that I've had relationships with, it's usually not like real relationships. They're like short flings. Yeah, we went on a date or we hooked up, we had a one-night stand, things like that. Because it gets complicated when you're really in an emotional relationship. I mean, I'm sure you've experienced this.
Absolutely. It gets complicated to bring them onto the show unless it's a casual thing.
Yeah.
You know,
have you done any of that?
I did. I was dating. It's so funny these days. I was dating a guy a few years ago, and we were like together, and I brought him on the show. And it was actually really fun. I haven't listened to it in a while, but it turns out, and now we're really good friends now. And I actually I haven't even told my team this, but he's going to come in next week because we're having dinner. I'm like, you should come by the office. And I'm like, maybe I should do a show with him because we're really good friends now. I'm like, maybe I should do a show with him again, like a wrap up. It's kind of funny. And I am mostly friends with all my exes. We're actually close, and it'd be kind of interesting. I'd love to have him on. And
I would love
what'd
to
you
bring
learn?
on
How have I
him.
evolved? How have we changed?
But
Yeah.
while it's happening, it's a little tricky, I found.
In the moment,
In
right?
the moment,
Navigating.
yeah.
You don't know if you're going to be together. So
Yeah,
what happened? What happened with you in these experiences with the women?
It's just mainly people that I haven't had that serious relationship with.
Okay.
I had sex with one girl, and then like a week later, she came on the podcast, and we had very different experiences.
And he's with me talking about this with her. And
I think I heard this. I remember this because that is so interesting. Just because, especially with everything going on now, Me Too, we all, men and women, have very different experiences that don't necessarily end up in the newspaper, something bad, but we could be a conversation about where to go to dinner or how the sex all went down that night.
Totally.
And it's fascinating. And that's why you got to keep talking.
I was blown away that, I mean,
Well, can you tell me what was the difference? What was it?
I was like, I didn't even care for the experience that much.
Right. You were
I was like, oh, I feel
You
like
could have sent the
she's-
sex back if it was a dish. You're like, I'm not sure. Right.
Yeah. And she was like, that was the best sex she's ever had. And I was like, what is it? I mean, I'll take that, but that was not what I was expecting. I thought you would be equally dissatisfied with this experience.
Okay. That's really interesting. And then mom was what? You're like, oh.
I was amazed that this girl was like so like comfortable with just like casual sex. Like, I went there to get laid, and I got laid by God.
Right.
God damn it.
We were looking for different things. Like
Right.
I'm inherently wanting more emotional, spiritual sex, quote unquote spiritual sex. But she is always looking for like
Mom?
No.
Oh, she the chick. The other woman.
The
Okay,
chick.
got it.
Yeah. She just wanted to get off, and so her
Are you
needs were
finding
met.
that now? So Kim, you're dating in your 20s, right? Are you with someone now, or are you're dating still?
Dating,
so
yeah.
what have you found about the whole like hookup culture versus women being more assertive or wanting a commitment? What is going on out there with you right now? Like, what is
Yeah.
it like?
It's wild.
We just interviewed 2 yesterday that was just exactly that
Tell me.
subject.
And
yeah.
and then my follow up is: has Me Too changed any of that in the last few months? But
Oh,
first,
that's interesting.
the first question.
The first question, I mean, I think I've always assumed that guys are supposed to want to have sex all the time. Women don't want to have casual sex.
Right. It was like the
And you
biggest
kinda,
myth. Right.
Right. You have to kind of like con them into having casual sex with you by
Right.
promising this like future relationship.
Right.
Which is so not the case. Like yesterday we talked to 2 girls who are just looking for casual sex.
Like they really are. Like
Yeah.
that's all they want.
That's all they want because they're like, we know what we want in a relationship. We haven't been able to find that with guys out there right now. So in the meantime, I would like to be sexually active, and
And they just
This
can't
would be
find
nice,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to hear what happens, you guys got to listen to the podcast.
What's the name of the podcast? What's the name of the
Sex
episode?
Talk with my
No,
mom.
yeah, that, but this episode.
this episode will be like what girls want. I was
Okay.
thinking about.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good title. So do you find that then when you're going out with them, are you talking about it? Like just to give some to people on the first, I don't know how many dates you're going on now, but are you talking right away? Do you find that you're both saying like, I'm looking for a relationship, I'm not? Does that comes up sooner now, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm actually in that situation right now where I've. Yeah,
Look at your mom, eyes
is
wide open.
very
I thought
surprised.
mom knew everything.
I did
does
too.
not.
I'm like finding this out for the first time. Who is this?
Yeah, this is a new. We've been on 2 dates, and I don't know exactly what she wants, but I don't want like a romantic relationship with her. So
Why?
we're gonna have to.
How do you
I don't
know?
connect with her in that way. Like I don't.
Sexually or
I
we don't even know yet.
I have not
Okay.
done anything besides kiss with this girl, but I can't see it becoming like a very romantic situation.
But why? I'm just wondering if you.
You know, when you connect with someone,
So it's
you're like-
chemistry. It's not
Yeah.
like she voted for Trump.
No.
Okay.
No, it's that thing that you can't describe.
Right.
You're like, I don't really feel it.
Okay.
I wonder if she listened. If
Yeah,
you were
we're
to
I know,
listen
dude.
to
I
this,
just went through the
I'm
whole thing. I'm like, am I going to delete that thing about the ex yet? I don't know. It's
No,
fine. It's all good.
It'll all be over by then.
Exactly. It's fine.
But yeah, I have to have this conversation with her and say, listen, I don't feel that. But if you want it, I'm attracted to you. If you're attracted to me, let's
That's
let's
exactly
hook
what
up.
I think there is a certain amount of like truth telling that's going on now that that has to, I think, with casual dating and online dating. I think there is a lot of fatigue that's happening, that we're swiping and we're getting so many matches, and that just to kind of, why not say right away, I don't know even if you don't know what you want, or right now I'm dating a few people. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
think it's better just to kind of
Well,
Yeah.
I liked when I was single. I'd like to go with the younger guys specifically because there was never going to be anything. No matter what happened, there's never going to be like, oh, I'm going to be with this guy for the rest of my life, you know, because there's a huge age difference.
What was the huge age difference that you? How far did you go down?
20 years, I think.
20 years.
Maybe.
Okay.
And no, probably not 20 years. That probably,
no, that's a lot. I haven't done 20, but I've done like 10.
No, I'm doing the math in my head. That sounds like.
No, it could be 20. Cam's looking at you going,
no,
I did the math, Mom. It's 20. He's like, it's so 20.
Yeah.
But whatever it was like easy because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be with someone younger, I'm going to have a lot of fun. He's maybe looking just for fun and companionship and sex and a good time, and there's no like, oh, we're going to end up having children and the obligations and, you know, I'm going to get married and then white picket fence. You don't have to worry about that.
No, you're like, I've already done that. I already got married.
And the guys, they don't need it either. Sometimes if they're focusing on their career or they're traveling a lot, they don't want that either. So it's like such a good relationship, the Cougar Cub relationship.
Yeah, it is. What is your advice for the Cougar? I was going to go back to your book, and people can still buy your book. Correct?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Cougar's
on Amazon.
Guide to Getting Your Ass Back Out There.
It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. They should absolutely check it out.
What is your top tip if there's anything that
Confidence.
Confidence.
That's my top tip. Everyone's attracted to confidence, whether you're a man or a woman. You're attracted to a confident person, and nobody wants someone who has less. If there's a huge neediness and insecurity going on there, it's got to be. You got to fix your house first.
Yeah, that's true. I gotcha. Okay, so for dating younger, and then just like we're saying here, in any situation, you want to kind of establish where you're both at. I'm just not into playing games, so I want to know. Are we moving in this direction? Are we not?
Yeah.
And can we keep having sex?
I think it requires a lot of emotional work because you gotta be okay with making people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I have to be okay with this girl feeling maybe rejection if she wanted something more, or she could. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of risk.
No, I get it. It's being the pleaser, which
right.
I'm such a pleaser too, and I'm like it's terrifying to think that I it's so upsetting to think that I'm gonna like reject someone or I'm gonna make them feel bad and that, you know, yeah, like it feels wrong to be honest about that. And even talking to younger, like my niece who's like, 18, she's like, I feel like I have to and I shouldn't say no because he's gonna feel bad. We all worry about that Midwest. I don't know, just this niceness.
No, when I went to school, it wasn't like that. I went to school and I don't think I had any relationship. I was always like into just not
You were going to school in the free love days, though.
Yeah, I was going to school when it was like we could have sex with one person in the afternoon, have a different one at night, and nobody thought anything of it. We all changed partners half the time with my sorority and the fraternity. The sister brother, we would. I mean, there was no incest. I'm saying sister brother fraternity sorority.
I get it. I know. I got the frat language, but it's true. The 80s and 90s. Then we had like AIDS, and then we had all the protection, and we didn't have as much.
I didn't have any AIDS. I just was like, really not really much in terms of venereal disease, and even. We didn't wear condoms. We used all kinds of weird birth control. We had
weird birth control?
Yeah, like it was N-Care ovals. They just stick these little suppositories in you, and then it's supposed to be spermicide or whatever. Lord knows how I didn't end up getting pregnant.
Right. Thank God. No, right. Well, except for with the right times. With 3 people. 3 lovely children who got pregnant.
You.
I wasn't using N-Care ovals then, thank God. But
you were using what?
They're called N-Care ovals. That's what they were. They were some weird little suppositories that you stick in.
So that was more casual then. But now, I guess I think now, it's just the whole thing about... not knowing how to disappoint someone. So even I'm getting all these questions, and even from friends and from listeners, like, what do you do if you go on a date with someone? Let's say it's 1 or 2 dates. Maybe you kissed at the end of the date, but you're just not feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
Do you ghost? Or are you like, listen, I don't feel a romantic connection? Like, what do you think you do?
You don't ghost ever.
Yeah.
No, that's just not a nice thing to do.
I think what helps me is to think like, this sounds very corny, but I'm like, the more loving thing, like if I were in the girl's shoes, I would want her to say, hey, I'm not interested in you in this way.
How would you want her to say it?
Maybe just like that.
Just like, I'm not interested in you in that way. It was a really fun date. Just say it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just fucking say it.
Because all the time we waste obsessing over, is he going to text back? Is he not? What do you really mean by that? Just say it.
Totally. Ghosting.
I think guys are just...
No, you're right.
Do you think it's guys? Guys are like, I want something black and white. I want to know right away. I don't want the girl to like say, oh, it's not you, it's me. And, I'm still going back with my old boyfriend.
Do you think that the guys want more direct from the women?
Black and white.
I think they do. They do. And it's funny that you say that because I've had a lot of guy friends. Actually, last week I had a guy friend call me and he's like, well, let me conference with my buddy. And we did like a little therapy session. And they both had gotten text messages from women they had met like on Bumble. And they each went on 2 to 3. It was a very similar scenario. And both the women had sent, and they really liked them. They thought they did after 2 dates. there was no sex, but I think there was like a makeout. And then they sent both girls sent a text, something to the effect of, it was really fun meeting you. My life is so busy right now. Okay. But life's crazy, but I'll circle back if I have more time or something. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, what do you think they mean? Like, do you think that means should I follow up in a week? Or do you think, I'm like,
put a fork in it.
Exactly. I'm like, I think that it's pretty much what they're saying. They're like, but why wouldn't she just say she's not into me? I'm like, in a way they're saying that, or maybe it's true, but even if it's true, she's just not that into you enough right now to make sacrifices in her life to be there. So all you know is it doesn't matter what it means, and analyzing it, they're not available to you now. Move on.
Yeah.
It is hard in person to say it. It's much easier over the phone.
Yeah.
So or over text.
I would be like on a date and the guy would be like, I actually had my son call me and had said, you got to pick me up and take me back from the house he was staying at. So I go and we pick with the guy, and I pick up my son, and he drops us off, and he says, can I ask you out again? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Call me.
Right.
So I ended up, first of all, my son said, it smelled like old people in the car. So,
you're like, Mom, what happened to the cougar? You're a cougar.
It was not a cougar.
It smells
date.
like Ben Gay.
So it smelled like old people in the car. But anyway, it turns out I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? So the guy calls me up, do you want to go out again? I thought it was really good. I'm like, yeah, just it's not working out. But I do have a girlfriend. And he goes, I've been blown off 13 times in the last 14 dates.
Oh my God.
This was like the worst one I've ever gotten, but I'll take the girl's number.
Oh my God.
Wow. Well, that's a nice offering,
there
right?
You go.
But that's a really interesting point, because I had that 13 dates in a row. I did the same thing. I went out with some guy and I said to him, and I'm really proud of myself, because I think back in the day I would wait a few days, or I'd say I am busy right now. And I just was like, right after the date, he said, let's go out again. I said, I got to be honest, I wasn't feeling it, but it was so nice meeting you. And he's like, well, thanks for telling me. I had a feeling when we were walking to the car. And then he said, but I know that you're an expert. I'd love to talk to you and know what I could have done differently. And know what I could, like, do you have any advice for me? Because I'm thinking your guy with the 13 rejections, that could have been helpful.
First of all, why would anybody tell that if you want me, you don't tell me that you've been rejected 13 times, because why would I find him to be, I'm not the diamond in the rough here that's going to,
Exactly.
he's not the diamond in the rough that I'm going to pull out after that.
Right. Well, that's probably starting with one thing, like, you don't need to share that with everybody. Right. But I was like, that's a really interesting, because what if we could get some kind of like play by play after and be like, okay, are we strong enough? Are our egos big enough? Can we take it? Like, I want to know why you ghosted or didn't call or it didn't work.
Well, that's what we're experimenting with. Yeah.
On the show.
With my mom next to me.
I love that. So this is a serial, like a segment. Like, what went wrong?
We have done a number of these. He would bring on a lot of, even through college, and this was like 5-6 years later that the date was, and we'll bring on a girl and she'll tell him exactly what was going on.
What kind of information, do you mind, can we replay it? What kind of information have we gotten? Are there any good themes here that you've learned?
Mixed messages, I think, that they didn't really know that Cam was even interested.
Totally.
That's such a big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that also, it might...
Now you're doubting it. No.
Well, sometimes I think I might use that as an excuse for just not wanting to say, yeah, I'm not into you. And so then she's like, oh, I didn't realize that there could have been a possibility.
Yeah, but one of them was like, you really were into her. Remember?
Who are you talking about?
Amber.
Okay, so in this situation, I was very into her, and she came on the podcast and was like, no, I just want to be friends.
Okay.
And
then she gave like a little...
It was a day after our date, or 2 days after our date. And I'm like, oh, okay, getting friend zoned.
Right. Right here, on the air.
Yes.
Right.
And then she said she left the door open a little bit. And what'd she say to you? Like, well, I'm not...
I know. I'm not saying it's completely out of the picture.
Right, because we all want to keep our options open. Right. We do that.
And the other thing I was thinking about is that, like, one thing that concerns me is when to have this discussion.
Okay, right.
Like, after 2 dates, is that, like, does that merit this type of discussion? Maybe she's not even thinking about this at all, like, potentially leading to a relationship.
Right.
Maybe I'm overanalyzing.
It's so interesting, because when do you have these discussions? Because there is that whole, like, if you're like, I'm just seeing you as a friend, we're like, well, we just got to know each other. Like, how do you even know yet after one date?
I think you know after 5 seconds.
Yeah, you do, right? I feel like, I would like to say that, but I feel like I have had people sort of grow. I hate to say they grow on me in many ways, but it's more like perhaps I had judgments, or I thought that they were a certain way after one date, and maybe they weren't. And if I was interested enough, I might give it a second date just to check it. And sometimes I'm wrong. Like, I've been wrong and then I actually like them more than I thought. But having that talk, it's more like, I don't think that's when you would say, like, I wasn't into you because I thought you were cheap and you didn't pay the bill or whatever. Because that's... Or I thought you were an asshole. But it's more like, I think it's okay to say, these are the kind of things I think that you could say early on, is that what you're looking for. Like I actually casually dating a bunch of people right now, or a few people right now, and I want you to know that. Or you could let them know that I guess I didn't really feel a romantic connection if you didn't. I think you could say that after the first or second date if you don't want to keep just playing texting tag or whatever it's called. What, right?
Yeah. I just remember like
you just
immediately, what you don't want immediately. Like if there's just like the guy walked in, he looked like he's got a Beatles haircut. It's just like, there's.
If you're just not attracted to someone, that I know. That I can tell right away. But there's some people that I'm like,
if they're borderline, give them a second chance.
I like the Beatles haircut.
See, we all like something different.
Not attractive at all.
How has your sex life like changed at all doing this show? Because you probably have a much bigger spotlight on it, and you're also thinking I have to tell my mother in the morning.
Right?
So,
yeah.
But or for both of you, or even just over time, anything you've noticed how you've become more empowered, or asking for things, or turned on by things you didn't know before?
Well, I knew very little about sex before this. I mean, it's like just through what I experienced,
right?
Which was limited,
right?
And so through this podcast, we've talked to so many people, and I've learned about BDSM, talked anal play. These are things I would never have even considered in the past, and now I'm like, oh yeah, let's try it out. We'll see where it goes.
Right. The anal. Or talking about it.
I haven't tried anal play yet. This is the newest endeavor that we're trying to figure out.
Oh, Cam's got some really good ideas for the future of anal.
You tell me about the future of anal. Anal's huge.
I am convinced.
2017 was the year of anal licking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was another. People were really into anal licking. It just was.
I do these live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's a constant theme.
Right?
Do you love anal? How do I get my wife to do anal? How do I get her to do anal? Anal. Am I gay if I do anal? I mean, it is
obsession.
Anal is the new black.
Anal.
That's it.
Right.
So Cam came up with this great idea.
Well, I am convinced that I think anal play is going to become much more popular for straight men moving forward.
Yes.
Because
prostate
they're going to be prostate play.
Not just having anal sex with a woman, but
right.
men who are
your
straight.
own anus.
Yes, they should.
Just like grooming at first started out in the gay community, now it's spilled over into
right. Just like grooming,
yeah.
Exactly. Just like grooming from the gay community, we are now also taking on anal sex for straight men.
Now,
I like it.
But here we go.
I will say,
are you grooming your anus though?
Are you bleaching your asshole?
No, mother, I'm not bleaching my asshole.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're open. We're cool.
Yeah.
Everything goes well. Okay, but anal. Go ahead. Anal play.
Anal play. I think as people grow more comfortable with like fluid sexuality, that it's not so taboo to this will become more popular. I think guys are becoming.
Well, what about your idea?
What is my idea?
Your prostate massager.
Oh, I think we should have a prostate massager
for men.
That already exists.
I have one in my closet for you before you leave. You're kidding? Literally right there.
But, so I have not even had a finger in my butt.
Right.
So
that's fine.
I think that's the first
Get
start.
there.
Yeah. I think the prostate massager is very intimidating right now.
Well, or you could do it on your own. I think you're right, actually. That's kind of an evolution of anal, is that I believe that what I've noticed, because after doing this for so long, we get 13 years of emails and questions, that there has been a trend, and it's just in the last year or so, that, because I've always said, hey, does it make you gay? And explore it. And like, it's the male G-spot, and you guys go exploring. Why not?
Well, where did you get that idea from, though? I mean, like, why do you feel that way?
I've been studying because I know it. Mm-hmm. I know that
personally.
Because I know it personally, and I know it just because it's true. Because the reason why men aren't doing it, straight men, is because they think it makes them gay. Society's telling them it's for exiting, not for entering. That it's a million different things. But I'm telling them that like 9 out of 10 men, or like who have tried it and done it correctly, are like, oh my God, that was the most explosive, amazing orgasm I've ever had. And I can't believe I didn't know. And it's like a whole thing. And they're like, forget stigmas, forget the whole thing. But I'm just realizing in the last year that we actually, and it used to be me suggesting it. And even women would be like, I kind of want to try it. And now single or straight men are saying, I'm ready. I want to do it. Yeah. So I think you're right that it's turning.
It's turning. I mean, if you're promised an orgasm that's 3 to 10 times stronger than a penis orgasm, why the hell would you do it? Suck it up.
Right.
Who gives a shit if you look gay for a second?
Yeah, suck it up. That's right. Exactly.
Get over yourself.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. I'm surprised men didn't get on this sooner. But
yeah. What are they doing?
An orgasm that's even stronger than this orgasm that you're obsessed with already?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Because men are like one and done. Let's get that, and they don't have a lot of patience. They just want to do something really quick. And if you do this whole prostate thing, it takes a while.
It does.
It's going to take 20
you don't just
minutes.
put a finger in. Yeah, it's a thing. So exploring during masturbation, or like I have some great anal lube you can take home with you.
We're going to walk out of here with all the things that you promised us.
It's been known to happen. I think you're right. I think it's exploration. The guys can do it on their own, or their partners can help them along.
So this is theoretical for me right now. By theory, it sounds very good.
And you'll hear on our podcast
when it happens.
I'll give updates.
We're going to give it a blow by blow.
But it's a great place to start. So just to give advice here to my listeners that you really don't want to start with like putting a finger all the way in, but you want to start with use lots of lube and just there's so many nerve endings right outside the anus. So you just take your finger and you can kind of massage outside of it. And then maybe when you're masturbating, you could put a finger inside.
And this is for women too, by the way.
Yes, women should be. There's no shoulds, but it might be nice to take a gander to your back door.
But is it as pleasurable for women if they don't have a prostate?
For many women, it is. Yeah. For a lot of women, it can be very, very pleasurable. A lot of women can have orgasms that way, or it's just different sensations. There's so many nerve endings.
Yeah.
It can feel so good. It's not the guarantee, like, oh my God, for men that pretty much you're going to have a killer orgasm.
It's
for
a guarantee?
Women, okay, I shouldn't say guarantee, but it's more likely that it's going to feel amazing. And
money back guarantee. She's going to ask you for all those toys back if you don't.
Be careful. I don't want them back. But no, it's pretty much like if you do it right, like it's going to feel with a finger or just even your partner doing it or even just, the taint, do a little pushing up there.
The whole thing is people like what's naughty and what's dirty and what they're not supposed to do.
Right.
And this is kind of like, I was into this anal play when, here you go.
Good. Tell me.
With Cam's dad.
This is being revealed. I've never heard of this.
Not on him, on me. It was like, not a big deal. But
he's like, I didn't know that either.
It wasn't anal sex. It was just anal finger play, okay?
Okay. And you liked it.
I love that shit.
Right. It's good. Right. No, it's so, because, right? It's the finger.
Nothing to do. Shit, it was not part of that.
Right. Wait, what was it?
I love that shit. And I'm like, no,
there was no shit. But there can be, and sex is messy. I'm just saying if there was shit.
Emily.
It can be. It's messy and beautiful.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
So you like a little finger, right? It's fine with some lube. It feels great for men and for women. But why not? Our bodies have such unlimited capacities for pleasure that why not take a visit to all the different orifices?
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. I always told you your dad was a good lover. Really.
Do you know this was a boundary? We never talked about this on our show.
Okay.
Because every time it was brought up, you would say, I don't want to talk about that.
Well,
so this is
you guys are breaking through.
This is a breakthrough.
You asked for it, Emily. You got it.
I did. I love it. So you've never talked about sex with his father before?
No, I've talked about plenty of sex with the father.
No, just not anal.
That's not anal.
Well, right.
Anal from her perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's heard enough about it. He can tell you stories.
And what about now, though, in anal? Are you friends? You like it? Play?
Yeah, actually, I'm still discovering different things with it, with my boyfriend and I, but we don't like to talk about personal stuff.
Right. No, I get it. Okay.
Would it be weird for you to talk about anal with your mom? Like ask her if she's
No, my mom is very much, my mom's really open about sex. I actually have never asked her that, and I actually kind of want to call her right now.
Let's call her right now. Let's do it. Let's call mom. Let's call
my
mom.
mom's amazing.
I want to meet your mom.
Oh my God.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Mom. How are you? I'm good. Are you busy?
No, I can talk to you for a couple minutes. I'm just waiting to be picked up to go out for dinner.
Okay. I'm on my podcast right now, and I have this amazing, there's a podcast called Sex Talk with My Mom, Karen Lee and Cam, and they're on my podcast. They have a sex podcast where they talk about sex, not about each other, but they give advice. And they're mom and daughter.
Hi, Mom.
Karen Lee and Cam. They say hi.
Hi, ladies.
So you're on there. And man,
take
a
it.
son. It's with your son.
Hi, lady and man.
Thank you.
But Mom, I have a question about anal sex.
Oi.
Is it something that you've ever experimented with?
I'm not really answering this question.
Really?
I love you,
okay,
Mom.
That's okay. You don't have to. Is there any other sex
It's boundary crossing.
boundaries?
See? There you
I got it. Anything you want to share at all?
That isn't
About
boundary
sex?
crossing?
Not really.
Okay.
The car just arrived.
Sorry, Mom.
You sort of caught me unawares. I mean,
Okay, here's my question. Is anal play, even if it's not in your life, was anal sex ever a thing 20 years ago? Did it come up?
I mean, it's something that people talked about. It's not anything that was popular, if that's what you mean.
Ask her why she's uncomfortable.
Why does it make you uncomfortable to talk about anal?
No, it's okay. My ride is here, though. I have
Okay, love you, Mom. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Love you. Don't be mad.
Oh my God. That is so perfect.
This is the best sex talk with my mom I've ever
That was,
heard.
I wanted to like do sex talk with my mom. It makes me yeah.
That's so amazing. She had the same response you did when we brought it up.
Yeah,
That was your response at the beginning?
I was like,
Until today.
I didn't actually say oi, but I felt oi. But I mean, as long as it's not like going into graphic detail.
But this is your job too. You're educating people on your podcast. It's like, right.
Yeah. And it's just, for whatever reason, it's weird when you talk to your kids about something that private.
Yeah. But again, what we all want is I
We
get
want
that
openness.
it is, but why not make it more open and be like, it's like you would talk about if you went to the dentist and something had to
Right.
happen and there's gums. I know it's very different, but it shouldn't be because it's our
Right.
sexual health and it's about pleasure. And what if he was doing it wrong? And I don't know.
Totally.
I just think that a lot of people have bad first time anal experiences or different expectations, but I love that you just opened up.
Yeah.
It's a big moment.
I
My
think-
mom shut down. You opened up. It's all fine.
I think by not talking about it,
makes it a
even though
taboo.
yes, it makes it taboo. Like
Yeah.
something is wrong with it, and then there's all the shame associated with it, and you know it creates all these barriers. That said, I mean, maybe those barriers are good. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's great that you guys do handle those
It has a
boundaries
lot to
and-
do with Cam's comfort level, though. I can sense his
I
comfort
don't give
level.
a shit if you talk about anal.
But you
But
might
you
have
might
6
have.
months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That might be true.
Yeah, you guys have done a lot. It's
Somebody
almost
asked
like
if-
therapy with the two of you.
It is
right?
It
Yeah.
totally is.
You work
We
a
do.
lot of stuff out.
And you asked about if we share, and we do. We do help each other. Like, you know, maybe not specifically about sex, but like relationship advice and things like that. We'll bounce things off of each other because we work so intensely together. So
Yeah.
we're able to talk about
really
stuff
healthy.
more openly. And that's our goal for our podcast.
Tell me, what's the goal?
It's really to make people more open with each other. It doesn't, if it's a coworker or it's a parent or if it's a child or if it's a friend, we want everyone to be able to discuss stuff and talk about it openly, because that's where the problems begin when you don't talk about it.
It's so true. It's so
That's
true. And
why
most
there's a lot
parents,
of rape and things, miscommunication, things like that, because people don't share, people don't talk.
right? Parents will talk about it to their kids. Sometimes I think the kids don't actually want to hear about it from their parents. So I've been trying to think about what would be the best way to educate kids today, but someone has to talk about it in a very healthy, open way. So if you can talk about to other people's kids, maybe, but on your kid, obviously
And
it
I
works.
talk to a lot of people.
I love it.
I've inherited a lot of kids because
No,
of this.
but that's the thing. See, it worked. I think that what the kids want in a group where they feel safe. So his friends, but like I think one-on-one, I don't know, it just can be harder for parents. But I think what your podcast is also demonstrating that a mother and son can have this relationship and it's healthy and it works. So I love that it's
Thank you.
setting that up, that example. But what were you just going to say? And then we're going to move on to emails, which I'm excited about.
I was just going to say that it's a lot harder than I thought it would be to actually have these conversations, because to have your mom involved with your sex life, for some reason you don't want to necessarily express sexuality when you're around your parents.
Right.
And
Because of
I don't know. I don't know if it's shame or if it's just a really hard thing to do.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's like we don't want to think about our parents as sexual.
You don't
and
want to-
also as
right.
judging. It's
And
seamless.
yesterday we were interviewing this girl, and she's like, I love the fact that my parents were always like hugging and kissing and showing affection.
Right.
But that's still not sex. And,
Right. At least she saw
they're
healthy
not like
intimacy.
making out and grabbing each other's ass or whatever.
Right.
That's a different sexual thing.
That is a different thing. But I think it's great when parents demonstrate intimacy and touch in front of their parents, that kind of touch, not like anal touching. You guys are awesome. I mean, Karen Lee and Cam, Sex Talk with My Mom, such a fun podcast. I want to ask you guys, well, first, I have a few rapid fire questions that we ask all of our guests, and then I want you guys to answer some emails and help me give advice.
Let's
to
do it.
listeners. Okay, ready? We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Your biggest turn on, Karen Lee?
Confidence.
Cam?
I think if I see her turned on, not my mom, the girl.
You pointed at me.
No, I'm.
That's weird.
No, I was just pointing. The person I'm hooking up with, she's turned on. I get turned on. Yeah.
I love it. He's such a good man.
He is. He's a Pisces.
I know. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, biggest turn off.
Being a dick. I'm sorry. If someone's a dick, it's a big turn off to me.
Yeah, I think if the person is not being present with me, that's a super big turn off.
Okay. Craziest place you've ever gotten busy?
Me? Oh.
Like, must I choose?
Where do I begin? Probably a fire escape.
Awesome. Like on the pole or just the
Like
that was it?
on the landing, yeah.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, that was not the guy's first time experience on the fire escape either. So that's strange, but okay.
It's a good one. Okay.
I don't think any crazy place, but like on a lot of different levels of the room. Like
What?
Like on the windowsill to the bed to the floor?
Yeah, there were like a lot of levels
The
at
curtains.
one night. Yeah.
Okay, tell me one thing you want to try sexually that you haven't yet, if there's anything, or that you're excited about. We might already know
We
Cam's
already got
answer.
the answer to that one, don't we?
I literally need you to call me or text me. You guys, tell me send me the podcast. We'll talk about it.
I
know you've done.
I know this is. I've pretty much done it all. No, I actually have not. I have never had like a menage a trois. I don't know that I want to though either. It's weird because I've always like thought about it, but I don't think I've ever. I don't think I ever really want to do it. It's weird.
Right, and you're in it. Well, did you have a post about it having a threesome?
Probably.
Right. I get it having one. Okay, but maybe it's a bucket list if it comes around.
I don't know. It maybe being on a porn shoot, if that even counts as a sexual or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, being on a porn shoot. Okay.
I mean, I'd like to watch a porn shoot.
Oh yeah,
Because-
we can make that happen.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's fine.
I don't know.
Okay,
why I haven't
good. That
done
was good.
yet.
Okay, you guys, thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break. A shout out to our sponsors, and then we are going to do some emails. Be right back. Have you ever heard that saying, you don't know what you don't know? Well, that is the very best way I can describe my life before I started using the Intensity by Pour Moi. Kegel exercises have always been part of my routine, but I didn't realize exactly how strong my pelvic floor could be until I tried it. The Intensity delivers gentle electrostimulation to the PC muscle group, creating an extremely effective Kegel workout automatically. Yep, it does your Kegels for you. You just lie back and it does it and you're done. Not only does a strong pelvic floor help prevent the old sneeze and pee, it increases the strength and frequency of your orgasms, which is why I've stuck with my routine for so long. And Pour Moi has two devices to choose from. The Intensity, which doubles as an awesome rabbit vibrator, and the Apex, which delivers the same electrostimulation without the vibrator function. The Apex is the perfect option for women who are sensitive to stimulation but still want an effortless Kegel workout. To learn more about the Intensity and the Apex, click on the Pour Moi banner on my website or visit pourmoi.com/Emily. That's pourmoi.com/Emily. The other day, my friends at Adam and Eve called to ask me if I wanted to give away free vibrators to my audience. I said no. I'm kidding. Of course I said yes, but only for a very limited time when you use code Emily at adamandeve.com. They're going to send you a free pocket rocket with your order. Pocket rockets are great little vibrators. They're perfect for clitoral stimulation alone or with a partner. They're super easy to use and compact enough to stash anywhere. Oh, on top of the free pocket rocket, Adam and Eve will also chop 50% off the price of almost any single item and ship the whole order for free. To get in on this deal, just go to adamandeve.com and enter code Emily at checkout. I suggest you do it before they realize just how many of you are out there.
And now we're on to emails. Do you have a question you'd like Emily to answer on the show? I love that. We've made it very easy for you to ask her a question. Use the option that's easiest for you. Number one, you can text. This is a very personal way of getting in touch with Emily. Just text Ask Emily, all one word, to 797979. That's Ask Emily, ASKEMILY, to the number 797979. That's a very easy number to remember. You can do it right now. Your normal message and data rates may apply. You'll receive a short form where you can enter your question and contact details. If you'd like her to call you during a future caller show, please indicate yes on the form. You can also submit a question from the sexwithemily.com website via the Ask Emily tab. She loves it when you include information that will help her, your gender, your age, where you live, how you listen to the show, basic information. And that's it. It's very easy. Just go ahead and do it. She can't wait.
That's so good. Okay, so this is from Jen, age 26, New York. Emily, recently I heard you talk about a toxic friends with benefits situation, but I want to ask for your advice about a healthy one. I started seeing this guy about 2 years ago, and since then I see him every week or two, and we've gone up to a few months without seeing each other. The sex is great, he loves pleasing me, and we still try new things and keep it interesting. It's been a very comfortable, low-pressure hookup, which is why it's gone on for so long. However, I don't see myself ever dating this guy since I don't have romantic feelings towards him. Someday I want to fall in love and be in a monogamous relationship. I'm wondering if I should end things with my FWB because I sort of feel like I'm using him until something better comes along, or is it silly to end a great source of sex if it's not exclusive and I can still meet other people? Thanks for all you do. It's Jen, 26.
Jen.
Yeah.
This is an easy one, Jen.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking if she knows she wants something else, it's going to take up, I think, my opinion is, if she already knows it's not going to go anywhere and the sex is great, but she wants a long-term relationship, she's got to cut it because that sex is taking up space in her brain, her life, her time that she won't be able to attract in someone new.
Oh, magic, life-changing art of tidying up over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut it out if it's not sparking joy.
Nah, I'm going the other way.
Okay, good. This
It
is
was
fun.
every couple months or something. It's not going to take up too much of her emotional space or whatever it is, and she could always end it because I've been in those situations. I've been in there. They work. Sex with like once every few months is perfect. You get it on. You get all the toxins released, and then you go back to pursuing other outlets. So I think she's got a good situation. Don't blow that off. Because you don't know how long it can be before she finds another relationship. It could be
And
years.
she might want the sex.
She likes the sex.
And she said, what you mean? She says, I've seen him every week or two. So I guess if she could space that,
Make it once.
That's a really good point.
Make it once a month if it's really bothering her.
Right.
I think either way, she should have the conversation with the guy and say, hey, this is where I'm at, by the way. Maybe if we haven't had that formal conversation, let's have that.
Right, but it sounds like it's working because they're both on the same page.
I don't even
Oh, she said we're on the same page.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because she's like, it's actually really healthy. I'm having great sex. So now I'm hearing what you're saying, and yeah, I could see that if it's like once a month because I've had guys who are like they fly in or they come through town once a month, and I literally have no connection but great sex.
Yeah,
but
that sounds
literally no connection.
I totally get that, Emily.
Right. So I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like 26, she really wants something. It's still taking up space.
Okay.
Probably if she's texting. Okay, this is good.
Okay,
I love the point counterpoint.
Do you think?
I love the reading. Yeah.
Do you think that she can be having great sex with him if she doesn't have that intimate
Intimacy.
emotional
That's
connection?
a great question.
Absolutely.
That is such a good question. It depends how you define great sex. And she might not, to her, it might be like, it's really hot. I'm having amazing orgasms. He's sweet. And that's how you define great sex. But for others, it could, maybe she's never even had really intimate sex yet. So some people have never even had that. So
this is what I'm talking about.
But that's not even say that it's for superior. Some people might just really like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not as emotionally involved. That might even be a turn on for some people.
Yeah, exactly. So that for her could be
Totally.
But I know what you're saying. Like for me, like I don't know, because I've had a great wild sex in the night, and then I've had this emotionally staring into each other's eyes connected sex too, and they're all great.
Yeah.
So,
I also find that I can take more risks though with someone who I trust.
Right.
Who I'm
It's
emotionally
true.
Well, that is, but apparently she's having a good time.
Right. It's not hard to find. It can be hard to find amazing sex.
What is it? Good man is hard to find, but a hard man is even better. I don't know. That was Mae West. I don't know.
Hard man is even better. Okay. This is Emily, age 21 in Florida. Hi, Emily. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I've always been attracted to guys almost double my age. I've dated my age, but I do not feel the same sentiment like when I'm with an older man. My father has always been there for me, so it's not like I need a father-type figure in my life. Do you think this is normal or something I will grow out of? Thanks for your insight. That's all we got there. So that is a big age difference, 20 years.
Yeah.
And a young girl at 21.
Under 25, your brain is not developed.
She's not developed yet. And so my only concern is like, I think she's experimenting now. And they're probably, even if she has a very healthy relationship with her dad, there just might be some nurturing. It's really attractive to be a man who has like power and can nurture you and take care of you. But again, for long term, it's the statistics, everything shows it just wouldn't work. They have nothing in common. And it's different worlds. It really is 2 generations apart, not one.
And someone who promotes cougars, I have to say, that does not sound like a good call. I'm saying, it just, for whatever reason, it just strikes me as that there's something else going on there. She's not saying the same kind of things that I hear young guys say with it, why they're attracted to older women.
Well, what do you hear from the young guys?
The young guys
Just
are
sex?
attracted to older women mainly for not just sex. It's just like the freedom, the independence. They love the experience that older women can provide sexually, and just like the independence and confidence and all that kind of stuff.
Right. That's what. Yeah. You have the stability and all that. But
they're not looking for someone to take care of them,
Right.
Because they know they're not. That's not going to happen.
But she's saying she has this attraction, like it's chemistry. It's
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a double standard, I guess.
it is a double. I think so too. I mean, in a way, as long as it's healthy, it's a tricky one because it is. You hear the cougar thing. We're going off on that, but it's okay for her to go out with these guys and experiment. But I would also like her to kind of challenge herself to see if she can find someone in their 20s attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say her question, is it normal? I don't know if there is any normal, when it comes to sex.
There's
like,
not.
if this is what you're attracted to, this is what you're attracted to. But I think there is some unpacking to do there, like why this is the case. I mean, clearly it sounds like she has been trying to unpack some, if she says she recognizes her relationship with her father is fine. But there is something else there that you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah, daddy issues.
I don't know. Yeah, as long as it's like healthy. But I would just say that again at 21. You don't know I don't know what I wanted at 21.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have an
Was she
orgasm.
saying she just was sexually into that?
She's just attracted to him right now.
I think if you're attracted, that's fine. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's exactly go for it, but I don't know. I wouldn't like move in with someone and start having children right now. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Totally.
But have some sex. Have some fun.
Sometimes we get
Be safe.
we get the question, you know, what would you feel uncomfortable, Cam, if your mom started dating someone your age? You know, and
Yeah, what do you
and
think?
fuck yeah, I feel uncomfortable. It would be really uncomfortable, and I really thought a lot about this because the person I was speaking with was like adamant that it wouldn't be weird, and I was like, no, part of me would judge my mom for, you know, being with someone who I think is in such a different phase of life and like doesn't have that awareness that I would hope
What about
she'd
if it was
be with.
just sex, though?
And it was just sex, I'd be totally fine with it. Just don't tell me
Just
at all.
don't tell me. This is something where you don't want to know. Right.
And hopefully it would not be with one of my friends.
It would never. That's disrespectful.
She's got boundaries.
We have boundaries.
Okay.
And what about distant friends? No.
Acquaintances, Facebook friend, but you never met her in the real life. Okay, you guys are awesome. This was so fun. I loved having you
Thanks for
here.
having
Sex
us.
Talk with my mom, Cam and Karen Lee. Where can people? What's new and coming up? Tell me everything.
Well, we have an episode we're about to release actually the day that this episode airs.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
if you go there now, you'll be able to hear our episode or a clip of it with Emily.
Oh, I love that.
It's a perfect
Thank you.
episode.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I love being on your shows.
We'll be teasing out your favorite lines that we got out of our interview.
Oh, good.
It'll be
You guys have-
all the highlights we have with our favorite sex educators, which you are one of them.
But if you want to find us, we are on iTunes and just search Sex Talk with My Mom.
Right, and
And
it's at
subscribe.
Sex Talk with my mom on social. And we'll have this all on the show
We're on
notes,
Instagram
too.
and all the rest of the channels and Patreon
Yeah.
and everything else. So.
Okay, well, this was awesome. Thank you for
Thank
being
you
here.
Thank you for
I
having
loved
us.
it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Very fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, thanks for listening to the show. God, I love Sex Talk with my mom. Please check out their podcast. Karen, Lee, and Cam are amazing. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you to my amazing team. Thank you to Ken, Jamie, our volunteers, Shannon and Jenny, producer Lark, Sybil, and Michael. Thank you so much for listening. Was it good for you? Text Ask Emily to 797979. I love when I run into listeners of the podcast in the real world. You always ask me great sex questions, and lately you always ask me, is the womanizer really that good? Which doesn't surprise me because womanizer is still the top search term on sexwithemily.com. The good news is I could talk about it all day. I call it the clit whisper because it seems to know exactly what I want. And I didn't think they could top the Womanizer To Go. That's the one that's shaped like a lipstick. But guess what? They did. The latest Womanizer is called the Starlet, and it is so cute. It's got all the power of the original, but it's super tiny, and it literally fits in the palm of your hand. The Womanizer uses patented pleasure air technology to indirectly stimulate your clitoris with gentle suction and air pressure. It just feels so good. It is so effective that some women have an orgasm in 60 seconds, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. And if you haven't tried a Womanizer, this is the time. There are a bunch of different models, but trust me, all of them are the sure thing. To order your Womanizer Starlet, click on the Womanizer banner on my site or find it at goodvibes.com/Emily.